having.
You sue him and you take all his stuff if he jacked you up.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
Right. Unless he does the cardinal sin, which most small business entrepreneurs do, and this is one of the issues that they have. They do what's called piercing the veil.
Oh my!
Now, what that means?
Help me out.
Is when you have an LLC, you put up a veil. Okay. Mm-hmm. Business, personal. Here's what you do not want to do. You do not want to take your business account and pay for personal stuff.
Okay.
You don't want to do that because when you do that, you pierce the veil. If you can pierce it, they can pierce it.
Okay, so
I spend a lot of time with small businesses telling them, set up this checking account, stop paying for this out of this. What are we doing here? Pay this out of your personal. Take the money that you make in your business, deposit it into your checking account is my strategy.
Okay.
Because that's how I keep up with the income.
Right.
And that is how, when you go to buy a house or buy a boat or buy a car, whatever, and they're looking at income, what I do for my small entrepreneurs, and I tell them, go to your bank and print out your deposits. They don't need to see all the rest of that stuff.
Okay. Just
you're
the deposit.
You're in your business checking account, so they see it's a business account, and they see deposits. You're making money.
Okay. So out of that business account, am I also taking out my expenses, doing the expenses out of that business account?
Very good question. Okay, so here's how it works. When you make money, you deposit it in. When you spend money, you use your debit card from that account. Okay?
Yes.
You take the receipt. I got a little program. You take a picture of the receipt, and you can take that receipt and throw it out.
Okay. So that
How
way,
much easier can it get?
That's huge.
Now that's your paperwork. That's your paperwork. If you used to spend 4 or 5 hours at the end of the week doing whatever it is that you did, I just took it and simplified it to take a picture, use your debit card, take a picture of the receipt, and I'm done.
Because that's huge. And I'm only speaking from experience, having an audit, way back. And I had receipts. Guess what? Some of those receipts were
faded. See them.
Correct. They were faded.
And if they can't see them, they don't count. And that's what I tell people. You can give me a whole bunch of pieces of white paper, but if I can't see it, I can't book it.
That's right.
So once you take that picture, I got software that matches
so you have
that stuff up.
Oh, we need to sit down. We talk all the time, but with that one, because I have receipts. Oh my goodness, I have receipts.
I don't play paper.
Ooh.
I don't play paper.
Okay, so that's another tip.
BookEase.
Another tip.
Sorry.
Tip.
Yeah.
Is to make sure that you're using service.
That's right. You have to move money electronically. If you move it electronically, you can track it.
That's it. So
a lot of people don't want to. Now, let's talk about that for a minute, because that's another issue that I run into in the community. And that is, I'm braiding hair, doing whatever it is that I'm doing, and I'm not showing income. That jacks up so many things. I'm going to start with, if you don't show income, then there's no money in the hoppers for schools and roads and all the rest of this stuff. So when I go to the city and say, how come this stuff ain't happening in my community? They say, because there's no tax base. That's a problem.
So
that's
when
number
we talk
one.
help us understand, what does tax base mean? What does that mean to me?
Businesses pay stuff to the city, stuff to the county, how they make their money. Okay, a lot of that's coming from the businesses. It's not, I think from us, we only pay homeowners. Okay?
Okay.
But all the rest of that stuff is coming from the business tax base. And we got a lot of businesses on this very street.
Exactly.
They're not they're under the table. And I keep saying, all right, now we got PPP. We had this great big thing. If you were registered as some biz, you could have qualified for PPP. But because so many of us didn't, we couldn't prove that we had a business, so we didn't qualify.
Why? So that's why it's so important
It's
to be
huge.
registered
That's one
as
reason.
a business.
That's one reason.
Okay.
Another reason is you want to be able to buy stuff. You want to be able to buy stuff.
Okay.
And people, cash is king, but credit moves mountains. Okay.
So when we talk about, because that's my thing, that's the thing. Credit is king. I mean, cash is king, but credit moves
is.
mountains.
Yes.
Help me to understand. How does credit move mountains? What is that going to do
I
for
might
me?
only have $5 cash, but if I got $50,000 worth of credit, somebody's going to give me whatever it is that I want because they know I'm good for it.
Okay.
If I just got cash, that ain't telling them nothing. They're not going to give me that $50,000 thing unless I got $50,000 and I just said I have $5.
Okay.
Now let's talk about small businesses and credit. I found out that if I go to Sam's Club and I get a credit card, Linda Flournoy, I will get a certain credit limit. If I go to Sam's Club as BookEase LLC and I get a credit card, the credit limit is 3 times that one.
Oh, really? Because of the business?
Businesses get more credit all day long.
Yes.
And I looked at enough YouTube videos. I live in YouTube videos.
Okay. Help us out with those videos.
But they, when I ran across that one, I immediately tested it.
Ooh.
And it worked like a charm. I couldn't even believe it. I could not even believe it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that is really
I got
a
5
great,
times the amount.
Really?
5. I couldn't even believe it.
So that
And
is
that's what
another
they said.
tip. Get that credit card
In the business.
in the business name.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
And if you have a little bit of credit in your name, that's a start. Because they're going to look back there first.
Okay.
But
interesting.
Yeah. And know that folks are watching. So just do it right the first time. And my whole thing is not even so much that folks are watching. Now you're really going to find out who I am. Jesus is watching. And I live like he is.
That's
so
right.
So I don't
That's
do
right.
no crazy stuff.
Right.
And so what goes around comes around.
So it's like doing the right thing from the
if
very
what goes
beginning.
around comes around. If you're saying good stuff out there, what's coming back?
Good stuff is coming back
Hello.
to you.
And it's huge. Don't block your blessings by doing stupid stuff.
Right.
Because just like good stuff comes back, that garbage comes back too.
Exactly.
And so I don't send none of that out because I know God is watching. It ain't worth it. It's like, no, I'm going to lean on him.
Right.
And he's going to give it to me even bigger. Now, example, I'm just going to shoot this out there.
Okay.
I'm just shocked. Insurance. I wound up with all this damage in my house. God said, oh, you must need a new house. So I got all interior, both bathrooms, all 7 rooms. Kitchen, living room, bedrooms, floors, some of the ceilings, all got redone. During COVID. Oh, because I had an insurance claim. I had water damage from upstairs in the toilet. Touched my whole house. The water was running probably for 2 hours. I didn't even know it. And by the time I found it, I had water coming out of the light fixtures, the air vents. It was a mess. Scared me half to death.
The key is
what goes around comes around.
But the other key, you had insurance.
That's right.
That's
you
the key.
You better believe it. Homeowners,
you have proper protection in your home.
Yes.
For your home.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
and on my car and you need that. You need
right.
that.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. And this is why I do what I do. We need all of these things, but if you don't have $1, you can need all you want. And so my whole thing is, You can go and work for him or her and make $10 to $15 an hour, or you can learn to do it yourself and step out there and make 3 to 5 times the money. Same work.
Yes.
What you will have to do is you'll have to go and get your own clients. And that's when we start talking more sales and marketing.
That's it.
We need to come see you. For real,
That's
because you know me.
Creations.
Thank you. Authentic Creations.
So
because I'm just going to tell you to go out and go to the nearest. What's happening? Is there the food show or is there some kind of event coming up? Go have some fun.
So how does the audience get in touch with you?
I am incognito. All right, let's talk about this a little bit.
We've already blasted you out there now.
I know. And I'm going to stick this out there only because probably my level of guilt makes me do it because it's almost like you know better. But, all right, here's the thing. When you go into business, you're supposed to want to make it the biggest and the best and the most profitable and all of that big, stressful stuff. Okay? I'm not interested.
That's it.
And that's a little bit crazy because I'm sitting up here talking about I'm trying to motivate people to go into business. And then I say, yeah, well, but I don't really want a big business. And I don't. It is more, I want to be in control.
That's the key.
I want a life. I want to work in the garden.
Oh, you do?
And I need to make enough money so that I can do that comfortably.
Exactly.
And
so you plan for that.
Exactly.
And the beauty with being that entrepreneur that
enables
you're able
to do that.
Exactly. You're able
Girl,
to say, I want that client or I don't want that client. That client is going to do too much where who I have in place is not, I can't honor that business in the way that I want to.
There are certain ones that I know I'm set up for that won't take up all of my time.
Right. And you know what? I'll say that's another key thing when you're talking about business. The type of business you want, how fast you want to grow your business. If you want to make sure that you can grow, you want to grow and play at the same time, you need to understand what does that business look like? What is that? Because everybody's different. I may be that one, I want to grow so fast.
Right.
But then I might outgrow and not pay attention to my clients.
Ooh. That is a problem, and businesses go out of business because their customer service gets crappy. What I was going to add on to that was, depending on what was happening in my life at the time, determined what I needed from that business. For example, I started my first business when my third was born because at that point, I couldn't afford daycare. I had 3 kids. I couldn't afford daycare, so I needed to do it myself, and then we got into some stuff. But more than that, I was able to make the same money that used to take me all day in just a few hours. Now, I can take my kids to school. I can pick them up. I'm flexible, so I go on all school trips. We go away on vacation and I can take my work with me and I can be in the room and do whatever it is that I'm doing and the kids are out playing. So we always went away for school breaks.
Right.
But I still had to work.
Exactly.
But because I was self-employed, I had that kind of flexibility.
That's it. And that's what it's all about.
It's not always about the money. I found out that it's about freedom
absolutely.
And time and doing what you want to do. Now, I must admit, I do have to make some more money, and I'll tell you why. Because now I love cruising. Oh my God! I'm addicted.
So that's wow.
It's bad. I went on 4 cruises last year.
From what I understand, we talked about the cruising before. You are getting rock bottom prices for the cruises.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do, we'll probably have another conversation.
Oh, Lord.
We'll have another conversation on the best way to book cruises. We'll talk about that. And also, I want to absolutely thank you, Linda Flournoy, for coming in and being authentic you, which I knew you weren't going to be anyone else but authentic you. And thank you again for being here on Living Legacies with LaVeta. I have enjoyed our conversation. And again, look for us on all the podcast channels and make sure you check out our free financial workshops. Until next time, Living Legacies with LaVeta. We'll see you real soon.